Hello, my name is Sadi and this is CineStuff. What we're talking about today is how to make you guys look beautiful on camera. Well, boy, I've got some tips for you. First things first, makeup. Hey there, stranger. You don't have to go this far, alright? But it's very important. You gotta make sure that you're not shiny at all on camera. Any light that you would use, no matter how soft it is, will create some sort of highlight either on your forehead or on your nose. Depends where you've got like a very shiny, greasy part of your face. So that's what you're gonna have to hide. Now to do that, you get some powder and you could see the difference that makes straight away. Whenever there's a person that is a little bit stressed, they tend to like sweat a little bit. Some people just like completely turn red and start sweating. What you could do in that case is just keep on hand a lot of tissues or some sort of like certain type of paper that you could use, which is like blotch paper. It comes like, the cooking paper. It looks very similar. What it does is it's very good at just like taking away the grease from the face right before you start filming. What it does is it takes excess grease from the skin and doesn't allow it to reflect as much. So it becomes a little bit less reflective. You know how there's some certain types of makeup that actually have like a natural shine? You don't want to use that because your job is actually to limit that reflection, not to add to it. All right, onto the sexy lighting techniques. There are so many techniques that you could use to light subject or yourself in front of the camera, but we're just going to talk about two of them because they're the easiest to do with just one or two lights. The first technique is just to have the light as I have it right now, which is directional and a little bit off of the side of the camera. So it's not straight in front of me, it's actually on the side of the camera. It's on an angle to me. Now what that does is it lights one side of the face really well, but the other side gets a little bit darker. Now if you see the shadows here, this is just because I want the shot to look like that. But since you guys want to focus about how you look so beautiful on camera, what you could use is some sort of reflector to bounce this light and to just make it hit your face from this side. You could use a polyboard or a foam board or something as simple as just a white piece of cardboard that could reflect the light coming from this angle back into this side of the face. The best thing to use, of course, is very easy. It's a pop-up reflector that you buy from anywhere. It's basically this one and you just open. You just open it like that. The best side that I use is basically this white one right here. So let's see how it actually works on the face. So this is if I have it open. Of course, you're not going to have it here. You're going to have it outside of the frame, but that's how how long my hand could actually extend. So what you could do is you could have it on a stand or even just like put it against the wall just to reflect the light right back into your face. You can see it right here with the reflector. And if I close the reflector, you can see that there isn't any more fill that is happening here. So there's a little bit more shadows when I turn my face. Again, with the reflector, if I close it, here we go. So it's a little bit more shadowy now. And our job is to minimize the shadows because shadows actually show imperfections in skin and the facial structure. Basically, you don't want a lot of shadows when you're trying to make yourself look beautiful on camera. The second thing that you could do is to actually move that light and just put it behind the camera. This way, the light is going to be straight in front of you. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages for that. Do not believe people who tell you, oh yeah, it's completely horrible, it's flat lighting. It is flat lighting, but you can make it also not flat by adding other lights to it. So what we're going to do now is just going to place the light right in the middle. You can see that by noticing how the light rolls off towards the back. So the shadows are actually here now. I don't see any shadows under the eyes or under the nose. The annoying thing about it, if you're wearing glasses, is if you just look upwards a little bit, you could start noticing these reflections of the light in the glasses. You keep looking towards the lens, you don't have the reflections anymore, but you just gotta watch out where you're heading. Now, if you don't wear glasses, it's actually really nice, because when you take the glasses off, circle of light in your eyes. That's great, because your eyes aren't just like super dark and black. That way, people feel closer to you. Your eyes are bright, they're big. Now, the thing about this light is that because it's from the front, it just lights you in a very flat way. The light is hitting all your body equally. There's no shadows around. So that is when people say, oh, it's flat lighting. It is flat lighting because you're hitting the subject in just one direction. But what you could do is you could add lights like this that basically make you pop out of the background. The light of the screen is kind of giving a little bit more light here. So there's always other ways that you could add three-dimensionality to your shot. So do not listen to any snobby advice telling you not to use flat lighting. If you like how it looks, then it means it works for you, and that's the most important thing. Now, one of the most critical things that you could do to make yourself look beautiful and presentable on the camera is to use a soft source. This is critical. If you use a soft source, the light rolls off the skin. You don't get any harsh shadows, the light isn't as directional, it just wraps around you rather than just like hits you at an angle. Directional light, without any diffusion to make it soft, introduces shadows into every little detail in your face. So I don't care if you have a pimple, it'll look bigger. If you have a weird curve in your nose, it will look worse. If you have greasy skin, it shines so much. And even if you have these little pores in your skin, they'll start appearing all of a sudden. So either use a professional diffuser, or if you don't have a professional diffuser, find any piece of white cloth that the light can pass through. And that way, the light just spreads and wraps around you rather than having a hard light that could hit you in a directional and very harsh manner. Another thing that you could do that could affect how you look on camera is to actually open up the aperture a lot. When you open up the aperture a lot, what happens is the focus area becomes very, very small. So with that shallow focus that comes out of opening the aperture, what will happen is everything else other than the point of focus, which is mainly the eyes when you're filming people, is actually a little bit out of focus. This smooths out any bits that are really not nice on the face. So if you have a person that has really bad skin, in addition to lighting them like we said, and putting makeup on them, what you could do is open up the aperture, and that way your focus is not all over the face, it's only on their eyes, which is the most important thing that you need to focus on when filming people. Little bit of an extra tip, if you are the one color grading your footage, you need to chill out on the shadows, contrast and highlights. Don't make them very different from each other, because that difference either makes your shot have really dark shadows or it makes it have really strong highlights. And you do not want that. You want everything to look smooth, you want everything to look evenly lit so that you could look like this. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. Till next time, CineStuff out.